good evening or afternoon actually still. Welcome here to 2 games of Dota 2 today. We're gonna watch the excellent Moscow Cup and we're still on the group stages, but there is a but here coming out because we're gonna watch RoX.KIS versus DT168 for our first match. For RoX.KIS, however, this is a game where they can try out whatever they want because they already made it to the top 4. Even if they lose all their games, they're still gonna go to Moscow LAN finals. DT168 not gonna have such luck. They are actually lowest in the bunch right now, so they're looking to redeem themselves. Of course, I am not by myself. I'm once again joined by G-Advance. G-Advance, welcome to the broadcast.
Yeah, good to be here. Like you said, for both these teams, this is more of a sort of practice run than anything else, I would say. You know, it's like a public scrim, basically. But even so, I think both these teams will want to do well. Certainly RoX.KIS. Yesterday we saw them play 3 games. They had an absolute killer instinct yesterday. They just went for everybody, won all their games, cut down everybody in front of them. So hopefully we're going to see a good game here. And of course, no game is unexciting with PGG in it. I think he could make anything interesting because he's
not
PGG.
in the right way. We've seen him struggle a lot lately. Remember, I think it was Sunday or Saturday or Friday, one of the 3. They played against Empire at that time. Friday it was. And I mean, his team, PGG's team, was not doing bad. Now they were up against Empire, which is a really tough opponent. Fair enough. But the person most out of position was PGG. So that is something that we've seen before, also in previous games, and something that he definitely has to work on. I'm hoping that he has worked on that and that he continues to do that because we know that he can do it. And normally he's hit and miss, but he's just been a lot more miss than hit lately, which is kind of a shame. RoX.KIS, maybe because they don't have pressure on this game anymore to really win the game, or at least not in terms of making it to the playoffs, because they made it anyway, might be having a bit of a more relaxed game, and that might be the one thing for Dream Team 168 to really get together and come together, actually have that synergy working for them and beating RoX.KIS in this game, which would be an upset, definitely.
Yeah, definitely it would be interesting to see. And the thing is as well, is you said it right there, you said synergy. And that is more than anything the biggest problem this team has been having. They've all had great individual performances in this tournament, all of them. Even PGG, who has, like you said, admittedly been way out of position sometimes. Like you said, the last game he basically just threw away his life repeatedly. Apparently, like, using the keyboard was really hard or something, so he just like gave up and died a lot. But yeah, more than anything, this team has struggled to pull off teamfight combos. They've struggled to coordinate their ganks properly. They've had, you know, one person coming in, initiating, and the other person just being too late. And then they'll get counter-initiated on, and maybe both of them will die because they'll both end up being there at the wrong time in the wrong place. So, yeah, more than anything, I mean, they're picking it now. They're picking a very synergistic team. It looks like they're just going to go for more of a cheesy push than anything else, though, as they do pick up the Pugner, who is a hero whose only real role is, in fact, to just push early.
Yeah, one of the things I'm kind of worried about is that I've seen PGG play Sand King before. I think it was either yesterday or Sunday, not for the excellent Moscow Cup. But he had issues there as well in terms of positioning. Hopefully for this game it will be going better for him. I do like the Wraith King pickup by RoX.KIS. I mean, so far they are looking pretty solid. This Wraith King pickup is picked up after an Apparition and a Rubik, indicating that this is a farming Wraith King. Invoker mid, RoX.KIS looking pretty solid / stable and predictable in terms of how they're gonna lane this. I mean, they could still go for an aggressive tri-lane if they really want to, but a Mirana, Shadow Demon, Sand King combination, you can, like, the heroes on itself won't be out, like, the heroes on itself will win the lane. So if you are gonna go for an aggressive tri-lane against that trio, you're gonna hope to outplay your opponents more than anything else, which is something that RoX.KIS might be attempting to do. We don't know yet how what kind of mindset they're in. We've got the Nature's Prophet banned out for Dream Team. It's obvious, RoX.KIS, they need an offlaner. There's still a lot of options in the pool though, including actually the Clockwork, which we've seen a lot and is a pretty decent hero as well. So who knows, maybe he's going to be our hero to be picked up for RoX.
Yeah, definitely, as you said, both teams have very strong tri-lanes here. Either one could do well, but arguably DT168's tri-lane is that little bit stronger. The thing is I think with their draft, normally if you pick Pugna, he either goes mid or solo safe lane, and putting him mid versus the Invoker is not a good matchup for him. Invoker just does too much damage. Pugna does not have great HP nor great armor, although he's nice and fast, so he can get away most of the time, but he struggles to get last hits in a lane matchup like that, particularly if the Invoker is Exhort, which we've been seeing more and more this patch. As it's come out, it's just a little bit easier to coordinate with your team, and of course it's much more useful for pushes, which is generally how the meta sort of is skewed towards that way, though not by much. It's very balanced right now, but Shadow Demon Mirana Sand King could go into an aggressive role. It's not easy to break the enemy's tri-lane by any stretch, but if you do that, you do put Pugna in a solo safe lane, and most of the time he'll do pretty well versus most offlaners, so this could be interesting for both teams here. We get an Axe, so I guess this is going to be a mid Pugna, but it depends where they want to lane this. They got very adaptable lanes. They could even put the Axe in an aggressive tri lane, put the Mirana 1v1, and like you said, it was a good pickup. Clockwork does come out for them. He's great in 1v1s. He's very much a skill matchup versus some of these heroes. He will struggle versus Pugna though, because one of the issues he has is he can't really cogs Pugna. Pugna's just too fast. It's one of the highest move speed heroes in the game. Clockwork's fast too, but I think Pugna has like 5 extra base move speed on him.
I think so too. Was that a question?
I'm just not entirely sure. I'll have to check the stats afterwards. I just don't. I think it's 5 extra move speed. I'm pretty sure.
We can check in a moment. It's fine. I'm not so sure about the Axe pick. We know Dream Team, and they again I feel have a lineup that it's do it or die. If they don't get the laning stage going their way, it's not going to be easy for them to come back. It's mostly coming down to that Axe pick. It's not really a pick that will work if he gets behind. He is then going to be a tank that is not able to tank anything, basically. He's not going to be able to initiate because he'll die straight away. Luckily for DT, there's still also a bit of a ramp-up time needed before RoX.KIS can really starting to pull out some damage, but it's still going to be troublesome for DT if their laning stage doesn't go well. On the bright side, they've got good heroes to try and take the laning stage for them, especially with the Mirana and the Shadow Demon combination. Laning is going to be very important for the team. For RoX.KIS, maybe a bit less so, or at least they don't need to win their lanes. They can play it even, or at least get levels. If they get levels, they're going to be doing okay. As RoX.KIS back off from the jungle, realizing that everybody of DT is on the way with no fear, leading the charge. Let's see if they can get a disruption off. Goblak
30 seconds to
backing off, and indeed is going to be okay. That's going to be
yeah, they've got to be careful about taking a level 1 engagement here. RoX.KIS's level 1 engagement is very bad, particularly because they have Invoker, who essentially does nothing level 1. He does literally nothing. He doesn't have a skill level 1. He can just use orbs, which doesn't really count until you can invoke. He's not much use, and a level 1 fight versus DT, who have potentially, 3 stuns on their team, very dangerous to take.
Yeah, I do agree, as we're going to see who is playing what, and therefore also see who is going where. Of course, once again, this is a group stage match for the Excellent Moscow Cup. There is 11 teams in a group, and everybody faces each other once in a round robin group stage. It's best of 1 all, and we're reaching the end. This is the last week of the group stages, so this match, for example, does not really have any effect on the rankings. RoX.KIS will make it to the top 4 regardless, and therefore will make it to the Moscow LAN finals regardless. DT is not going to make it to the LAN finals at all. They are at the bottom of the list, and it will have no repercussions if they lose or win this one, apart from, of course, honor and glory, which of course is all you want in a Dota game. But let's see, RoX.KIS will be on the dire side for this game. Seedoy will take on the Clockwork. He has actually got a set for Clockwork. It's funny. It's got a weird little headpiece.
Yeah, he's got that brand new one that came out with the new chests.
Yeah. BCC will take on the Invoker, so he'll be in the mid lane. That means that we've got ourselves a Wraith King on the top lane, played by Solo. He is supported by Goblak on the Ancient Apparition and Yul playing the Rubik. And that's everybody of RoX.KIS.
Yeah, on the side of Dream Team 168, it's Nubik. He's playing the carry Pugna. Yep, that's more of a pushing hero than a traditional carry or anything, but it's also DT168. It's actually being gone on by the Shadow Demon here. Looks like we might have First Blood, but Seedoy is very tanky.
Yeah, he still has cogs as well if he really wants to, but We'll see if he's actually going to try to. It looks like he'll actually drop. One more hit needed for him to take him down. He's going to try to eat a tango. He's running very fast. Cogs go in, gets himself one target, but I think he should be able... No, PGG coming in from the side. He has got 2 hits in store for him. It doesn't get off even one. Seedoy still juking it around. Finds himself a creep wave. Gets disrupted for the second time. And that should be the end of that one. Or will it? Or yes, there we go. Wow. He wasted a lot of time for DT though. I mean, he went down, sure, but that was... It was a long journey through the woods.
Yeah, I mean, the nuke damage that these 3 have is very, very strong. That he did die is obviously a problem for him, but in the end, he's actually taken up so much time. He's managed to pick up level 3 here, only 2 minutes in with a death. Whereas RoX.KIS' tri lane, Nubik just hit level 2 from that. So, in the end, I think pretty much worth it for the side of DT, or sorry, for Seedoy there to actually go down. Even though he does die, he spends so much time, and he managed to pull the creep wave all the way up here as well, whereas previously it was way back, and he was struggling to get XP, so yeah, nice move from Seedoy. It took them a long time to kill him, and I mean, Clockwork is just an annoying hero to kill. He's now going to pick up boots as well, so he'll definitely be able to survive this. I was right, he is 5 move speed slower.
We are going to see ZXC having a bit of a problem.
I needed to know that.
Lane. He took a ton of harassment. He did just bring out his bottle, which is good for him. Overall, in this middle lane, I feel like BZ should definitely be in favor. But right now, in terms of last hits, it is actually ZXC that is topping.
That's very surprising.
Invoker, and that because I mean, based on damage, just pure the base damage, that should not happen.
Oh, it's because this Mirana was actually pulled a fair amount, and I think it's I think BZZ has taken a fair amount of harass because he's used Quas Orbs a fair amount in this. He's sitting on Quas Orbs a lot of the time, whereas if you sit on Exhort Orbs, then you will have more base damage than the Mirana. So, yeah, interesting lane matchup. Generally, though, I would favour the Mirana. Maybe ZXC has just outplayed him a little bit here, which is unusual because BZZ has been playing a ton of Mirana recently.
Invoker.
Yeah, the Invoker. Oh, Jesus. Alright. I looked at the Mirana because she was leaping away then. They're very similar heroes, you know?
Sure.
And by very similar, I mean not at all, but yeah.
Well, it looks like Afterlife finally left his jungle, realizing that his tower needs protection. I'm not sure if he should be closing in on this team though, because 1 lift and 3 disables will follow up on that one, and they know that too. Yol is looking for him, he finds him as well. That's gonna be the stun, the sunstrike, the cold feet, that's gonna be a kill going away of RoX.KIS, and that is why Axe started out in the jungle, because he knew that if he would show his face on this lane, this would happen. But apparently... not patient enough. Solo is taking up a lot of the tower here.
Yeah, he ended up making a small but crucial mistake then on the Axe. He turned around just a little bit to re-aggro the creeps, and that actually gave the Rubik time to get in range of him and lift him up there. And otherwise, there was no chance they were ever going to get him because
they have the same
their only
speed.
initiator for that is, they're the same movement speed, and he's their only long-range initiator. Obviously, the Wraith King can throw out his Fire Blast, but Wraith King is also fairly slow, and his range on Wraith Fire Blast not that great. So, in the end, yeah, just a small mistake from Afterlife. He was a little bit worried about making sure he got all the creeps. He did a good job at first, though. Battle hungered one of the enemy creeps, so they aggroed to him, and that was helping him defend the tower. But when it wore off, I think he tried to turn around. A little bit of mistake there, but either way, both offlaners have given a first blood here. But it seems like Clockwork is just getting that little bit more, and that's because Clock is just a much stronger laner than Axe. Axe is a pretty weak laner. He's almost entirely mid-game focused hero, whereas Clock has a bit more utility to him.
He does have a nice stacked camp though, and with that we'll be able to get a lot of extra levels on his side. In the meantime, wait a second, Moonlight Shadow getting used because they want to try and save Nubik. Battery Assault does not go through Invis. The Sunstrike will though, but it's too late. Nubik will live. And Seedoy, he has got another flare, but it's only level 2, won't get the kill. I believe he'll try to go for it maybe, but nah, it's not even gonna try that. Pretty close.
It's not even worth it. Nubik
Shadow
will just salve up. Yeah, smart use of Moonlight Shadow there, and it seems like RoX.KIS were just a little bit slow on the ball. Maybe BZZ didn't have Sunstrike up, I didn't quite check, but his Sunstrike came out just a little bit too late for them there. It was smart play by Seedoy though, because as soon as the supports are missing from a lane, generally Clockwork, even with only 2 levels of Battery Assault, is a very strong solo hero for actually getting kills. The issue is catching up to Nubik, which he did manage to do there by running around the trees and coming from behind, but This is a part of the problem with having your supports off doing other things right now, especially when you have a Pugner who, despite being a very good early mid-game push hero, does need a couple of items, most notably a mech.
Yeah. I'm okay with the Pugner though. If
I
he
think
gets
good.
farm, he is doing very well. He's the highest last hitter for his team. Now, having said that, both BZZ as well as Solo are just way higher. Wait a second, BZZ is in a lot of trouble. Gets an arrow, burst strike, still alive for the moment, but the second star from the Star Storm will get him down. Good rotation from PGG. PGG, wow. That was a combination of PGG and BZZ. Confusing. At the same time, top tier 1 still will get picked up, and Solo actually, he's gonna have his ultimate burned. That is 5 stacks of the Shadow Poison doing work right there.
Yeah, definitely well worth it to take it out as well. A lot of time people think it's a waste of just getting off reincarnation, but it really isn't, because it's basically the whole point of the hero, and now for 260 seconds, he's kind of just a walking melee creep that can farm. And, I mean, it's nice being able to farm on the hero, but he certainly can't initiate anywhere. He doesn't really want to be involved in any fights. I mean, he can use his Wraithfire Blast a bit more, because he's not worried so much about mana, but it's not like he can spam it out. Wraith King does not have much in the way of mana pool, so yeah, a couple of nice kills for DT there. Obviously, it's not a full kill on the Wraith King, but even so, getting rid of his ultimate means that he's now actually gankable, and that's a crucial thing. I think it's most important to get BCZ, though.
I guess. Yeah, they got BCZ once. Nice for them. He's sitting on 1k gold. Looks to be still going for Hanamidas, which is a nice item for an Invoker, especially if he's not been able to do as much as he maybe thought he was going to be able to do. Even though on last hits he's doing quite okay. But especially in terms of levels, you'll be able to just spike ahead of the rest of the team, of the rest of the enemy team as well. In the meantime, Sand King is stuck in cogs, but it looks like he'll be okay. And actually will get himself some last hits here as well. Unless, yeah, I was gonna say unless No Fear takes him instead. No Fear.
Yeah, ultimately, Clockwork just not a good hero for ganking Sand King. Battery Assault does not hit during invis, and if he initiates him with a hook shot, well then you just immediately use your Sandstorm, and suddenly Clockwork can't do anything. And yeah, I mean he's doing his best here. He has managed to pick up level 7, but
that's gonna be one dead. Yep, Cat Lady.
Nice rotations from there. Actually using Solo in the rotation as well, despite the fact that his ultimate's down. Wraithfire Blast is a good spell. He doesn't even need to use it, I don't think. Yeah, he didn't even use it.
He did use it.
Has he got the mana?
I don't know, but he used it. I saw him use it.
Alright, maybe Rubik got Arcanes. Alright, yeah. Rubik has got very fast Arcanes, actually, before he's even hit level 6, and oftentimes you find Rubik's can struggle a little bit as far as gold, but yeah, with the couple of assists on him. Okay, so that's how he did have the mana for his Wraithfire Blast and still have full mana, but it looks like this whole tri-lane is rotating here. This means they're trying to give XP and gold to Goblak, who has picked up a Midas as well. Everybody is Midas gaming this game on RoX.KIS.
Yeah, they've got one on Solo. They have, of course, starting to build, or they have actually complete on BCZ as well, and Goblak also won. So in late game, they look pretty secure, and we already mentioned that if DT didn't win their laning stage, they would be having a tough time. Now, they did not necessarily lose their laning stage, that's for sure, but that Axe, I am starting to doubt the effect that he is still going to have in this game. He is very low in terms of net worth. He is level 6, which is not bad by any means, but it's the same level as the supports. And he should be having maybe a bigger impact, so they really need to start grouping up indeed and trying to get more for their team. Most importantly, get towers. More gold for everybody, and most importantly, more gold for Afterlife without putting himself in range of enemy heroes that can take him down. Sunstrike gonna hit, and that's actually not gonna be enough to shatter Afterlife. Ooh, nice disruption. Nice disruption indeed. Afterlife will be able to live through that one. That was pretty close. Hook shot in. That's gonna be Seedoy going up on Nubik. Burrow Strike hits upon Seedoy as well, though, and that's gonna be Seedoy. Too aggressive. And look at everybody being so low. This is why you would want a Bloodseeker. Imagine how fast he would be at this point.
He would be the speediest of all race cars. But yeah, big problem for RoX.KIS there is they went in with Seedoy. It was a good opportunity, but nobody was in range to do anything about it. Obviously, Goblak is basically AFK outside of using his Ice Blast. He can throw that out, but otherwise he's not there. ZXC was too far back. Sorry, not ZXC, but BZZ was simply too far back, and the Wraith King and the Rubik were on the bottom lane, who, just having pushed down the tower, they do get the tower for it. They lose Seedoy's life, but ultimately he's already picked up himself a Blade Mail. He's got plenty of levels. He's already level 8 actually as an offlaner. Plenty of gold, plenty of levels, way above where the axe is. So I think it's kind of worth it overall, but Seedoy did not have to go in there. He threw his rocket in and then decided to go for some sort of big plays, and it really just wasn't the opportunity. There was no backup that could actually get in there and help him. The Wraith King and the Rubik were too far away, and Invoker at this stage, he's used Sunstrike, and he's like, well, I'm going to go hit creeps again, guys. So, just a bit over-eager there from Seedoy.
Well, PGG just got a solo kill on the Ancient Apparition, and that kill got him enough gold to get the Blink Dagger, so very good kill for him. Also, make sure that Ancient Apparition for the moment cannot use his Hand of Midas, as we do have solo going in on Nubik. The Sunstrike coming out as well, and BCZ here to try and help out. A couple of right clicks are needed to take him down, and solo will take that one. Good rotation from these two, and Mechanism is not going to save you against that amount of hatred. I mean, that's just too much damage coming out. In the meantime, tier 1 tower top is getting pressured slightly by ZXC, but he's not going to be able to take it down, and he's actually getting stalked by Seedoy. The hook should actually hit. Looking to take him down. Battery Assault is there, and the leap on cooldown. That's a solo kill for Seedoy. His Blade Mail helping out a bit as well. A good kill for RoX.KIS. That's 2 good kills in a row.
Yeah, nice for them. They did take out the Rubik first, but he managed to deny himself to neutrals in the end. You'd think he would have probably lived, because the poison on him was only 1 stack, and he had like maybe... I'm not entirely sure how much HP he had at the time, but yeah, he does. He throws his life away, but Seedoy comes in with the counter kill, and this is what a fast Blade Mail on Clockwork can do. And this is the thing about Clockwork. He can initiate without having to got a Blink Dagger already, and he can get other items like Blade Mail that give him more utility and make him harder to actually fight when he initiates on you. Whereas Axe, right now, he has to initiate and just hope for spins, which is not as reliable as a Blade Mail, obviously. So, and the thing is, he doesn't even have a Blink Dagger yet. He's also a weaker laner, so overall this Clockwork pick just doing a lot better.
Solo's gonna jump in. Moonlight Shadow coming out, though. They still make sure that they take down the Pugna. And the Sentry Ward is there as well. PGG should be able to be fine for the moment. His Moonlight Shadow should be buying him enough time to back off, but... oh. It's actually gonna juke things. That was a courier flying past. With 1 hit, Solo takes it down, or at least I think that was the courier right there. Gets disrupted though. Yes, that was there. The courier was hanging about. And I mean, that was something that the Wraith King didn't even see. Pretty impressive from him as he's continuing on with this Blink Dagger. He can be everywhere. Afterlife will get picked up there, and they look maybe for a kill on ZXC, but he's able to leap away. And the leap itself was not solo. And wow, that blasted a lot of damage to Yul. He has to back off. In the meantime, Solo, he jumped after ZXC. It's not going to be something that he wants to do. He does get taken by an arrow, but he does have his ultimate, and he has enough mana for it as well. So let's see if he can turn this around. Blinks away, though. Ancient Apparition will fly over, not hitting on any heroes, but doesn't matter for Solo. He's just going to go up on Nubik anyways. Disruption coming out as well as a Sunstrike. That should be Pugna down. And in comes PGG with an Epicenter. Solo actually taking a lot of damage. Still alive for the moment, however, as the hookshot misses. PGG still alive. Clockwork the one that gets taken down by the Shadow Demon. And it looks like Solo also will fall. Double kill for No Fear Shadow Demon. Finally, DT gets something in return, because that Solo, he was everywhere. Just jumping around, killing people. And only now did he get stopped.
Yeah, and it feels like maybe they just went a little bit too far on the side of RoX.KIS then. Once Solo had died the second time, he could have just blinked and TP'd out, maybe in some trees somewhere. But instead, they decided to throw in the AE ult to bring in the Clockwork as well, and try and turn around and get some kills. They were able to do some significant damage, but the problem is that eventually Wraith King does just get kited out, you know, and he is an easily kited hero anyway. Never mind versus DT, who overall have very good heroes for kiting that out. Obviously, Disruption can stop anybody being attacked. Sand King's very mobile hero. Nubik, not so much, but at the very least, he's fast. And the Mirana has an escape as well. So, in the end, just staying in the fight too long. I do like the build that he's going for here on the Wraith King, though. Hand of Midas into a straight Blink Dagger sounds like a crazy combo, because obviously Blink Dagger is an early mobility item, it allows you to fight, and Hand of Midas is more of a late game farming item. But the reason that Hand of Midas is so great on Wraith King is he needs levels more than most other carries because he needs to really max out all of his skills. He needs his ultimate particularly. Ooh, top lane though.
Yeah, they want to
ZXC
try
has to
and
be
go for
careful,
ZXC,
but where's the
Moonlight
detection?
Shadow. Yeah. Moonlight Shadow is enough to keep him safe. If Flare is still coming in, but won't be hitting up on ZXC anymore. It's a bit lower down the line, so no with the Ancient Apparition ult coming out. And that's actually going to be an initiation coming out on Solo. Disruption into an arrow. He does not have his ulti. And that should be Solo gone, chopped to pieces. Shadow Demon goes down with him, but that's not a favorable trade for RoX.KIS whatsoever. But at least it was a trade. Shadow Demon actually also gave a dominating streak away, so Seedoy is a bit extra rich right now. In the meantime, on the bottom lane, BZZ made sure that that distraction on the top lane got him some pushing time in on the tier 2 on the bottom lane. It's actually top, it's not over just yet. Afterlife stuck in cogs. Seedoy is gonna be okay for the moment. It looks like Afterlife will indeed be going down there. Looks like the rest is able to run. In the meantime, on the top lane, Nubik. Life drain on cooldown, very low. One cold snap away from going down, but he backs off. He's gonna be okay. So many people going to be okay. Well,
yeah, and I think RoX.KIS are playing a very smart game here because really DT's lineup is on a timer. Mirana is not going to be a good damage hero in this game at any stage really. She's just got herself a Drum, Aquila and Phase. She's not going to really hit that hard. She's hitting pretty okay now, and obviously she does a lot of spell damage, but she's not suitable for taking down a Wraith King, even in the late game. He's just too tanky. Pugner, of course, is an early push hero, and he's been on the safe lane, but RoX.KIS are continuously putting BZZ versus him, and with the Cold Snap, he's a very strong hero versus a Pugner, and Pugner's not getting anything done. They haven't taken out any towers but the mid tower now. They haven't even tried to push down a tower for a very long time. It feels like the way RoX.KIS are playing, with 3 Midases on their team as well, this game is almost an inevitability for them.
Oh, arrow flying in. Will not hit up on anybody. Nice link forward from Solo again, though. Just to be on the aggressive side. Does force the
They're
rest
just creating
of DT.
pressure.
Yeah, the rest of DT is definitely feeling the pressure. They're all coming here towards this middle lane. Nice disruption. Will be helping out for the moment, keeping Shadow Demon safe. In the meantime, Epicenter going out upon 2. That ward from Pugna also doing a lot of work. BCZ is already forced back. Axe still goes down as the first one in this fight. It will also be BCZ to drop though. Shadow Demon with a killing blow. Solo not getting the stun right. Still gonna get the kill as an arrow flies in. Seedoy picked up by ZXC. ZXC's Moonlight Shadow is running out. He is still able to leap on 5 health. The stun chasing him down. That's gonna get Solo a double kill. 3 on 2 at this point in favor of RoX.KIS, and they should be able to take the tower off the back of this as well. That was a very close call.
Yeah, and all of these fights are coming off the initiation power of the Wraith King, and the follow-up from the rest of the team as well. They're all able to actually get their damage out when somebody initiates, whereas DT, they were able to get a great Senking Epicenter out, but the fact is that unless RoX.KIS are all grouped up in one area, it's very hard for DT to get all of their damage out on them. It's very hard for the Axe to follow up, and I mean, with the Wraith King just coming in first, you're already on the back foot in these fights. And the thing is, as well, as I was saying it just a few seconds ago, is RoX.KIS, they've got 3 Midases, they have vastly superior late game, they're creating all the pressure. It feels to me like Solo isn't even bothered about whether he gets these kills, or whether he dies getting them as well, because ultimately, they're still winning every single time they put pressure on DT, and DT don't actually move forward, push down some towers and create some space, because they have a Pugner on their team. This hero is already starting to fall off at 20 minutes. Never mind 30 minutes or 40 minutes into the game, the hero becomes... I mean, he can become a sheepstick carrier, but as far as late game, that's about it for him.
Well, they do find Godlike, so at least they get still a kill, as he was just in the wrong place, by himself pushing on the bottom lane together with some Forge Spirits. Not really gonna get you
bit of a random place to be as an Ancient Apparition.
PGG has the bug again, look at the Sand King.
This bug is so stupid. It comes up in like ability draft games as well, all the time.
It looks so good.
So weird. It looks like so
bug.
unnatural.
He's like zooming out. This is their true animation, because it's a sandstorm animation, but he also now uses it while walking. And it's gonna continue the entire game, people. Get used to it.
You can get rid of it, because my friend had it the other day in he had it yesterday at Sun King and managed to get rid of it. I have no idea how, but it is like possible. I'm not saying easy though, it's probably completely random.
Well, at this point, RoX.KIS, they're still very much ahead, and I mean, we see that back in the gold graph and experience net worth. It is all very much in favor of RoX.KIS, but somehow it feels like they're... Like, you can tell that maybe they're not as focused on the win as they could be. I mean, they know that this fight, this game, does not mean anything for them in rankings, and I think it kind of shows in terms of determination to get this game on, to play this flawlessly, because they are sometimes going in head first and not really caring about whether they live or die points solo, but they're still getting ahead regardless of playing maybe not entirely seriously. Well, I shouldn't call it that, because they are playing seriously definitely with this draft, but they are playing it a bit more loose. It's not as tight of a ship that they normally run.
I definitely agree. And honestly, I think part of it is the lineup. It's very hard to take things 100% serious when you're playing on a Wraith King. The hero is, I mean, especially when you go Blink Dagger, he's very much kind of a, alright, there's a situation I can go in. Can I go in? Yes.
Always,
That's it. You just always go in. It's like the Spirit Breaker, how to play Spirit Breaker. Can you charge someone? Yes.
Then
Done.
charge.
Then charge. Will it throw the game? Yes. Charge anyway.
Perhaps.
You know, so... And it's similar with the Wraith King. He's a manly hero. He's, you know, he's got Reincarnate, and every time he's got Reincarnate up, he may as well just throw himself at the enemy team
he's
and
gonna die unless he's getting disrupted.
Oh, where is the disruptor?
That was
no. Not the disruptor, Shadow Demon. That was
Sunstrike coming in as well, and Nubik actually taking a large amount of damage as well. He won't go down from it, but it looks to be pretty.
Either way,
low.
this is now DT are having their racks pressured. There's no buyback on the Mirana. They might just have to. They'll have to try and desperately defend this, and this is not easy because there's some Necrobooks out there. They have Solo, who of course can initiate on any of them who sit back very far. They're going to try and look for the perfect opportunity, but it's going to be very difficult. They're very reliant on PGG getting a perfect epicenter here. It is level 2. He does have his blink up as well. He's had it for a while, in fact.
Yeah. Oh, they find where he is though. Solo gonna get Burrow Strike while Sun King tries to back off, but not gonna be happening. The tick from the Wraith Fire Blast. Who came up with that name? Seriously, is gonna be ticking him over. I mean, this is gonna be Rax. Some damage being done, but without the Sand King, you mentioned it, they needed that Sand King to have the perfect Burrow Strike epicenter to be able to defend this. Right now, all they can hope for is for RoX.KIS to back off, as Solo is actually looking to die here. It is Axe that dies first. Solo will maybe go down. No, his armlet toggle is still on point. He still, of course, has his ulti, which is kind of what I'm waiting for, but apparently he doesn't need the slow from his ulti to get kills going his way. While Ancient Apparition picked off the Puck Knight, he was able to take down the Shadow Demon, and it's just ZXC on his Mirana left alive for this fight, or at least for the side of DT, and maybe that's not even gonna last very much longer. PGG will get picked up as well. There goes finally the reincarnation. ZXC leaping forward into base. Sunstrike coming out, but misses. Still 4 dead again on the side of Dream Team, and there's still 2 tier 2 towers standing on the side of DT as BZ disconnects, but
it's whatever, somebody else will play him. Maximum micro coming out. It's fine. Everything's fine. But yeah, it seems like RoX.KIS, it's just a simple situation for them now. 25 minutes in, DT don't have much in the way of racks. They'll try and fight back here, but ZXC is dead.
Or is he?
Alright, maybe not dead. No,
maybe
he's dead.
Yes, dead. Yeah, he is dead, definitely. No pause coming out.
He escaped for a few seconds, but yeah, they're not even pausing. I mean, maybe they'll just A-click the Invoker on the base. Does anybody else on RoX.KIS play Invoker? Yeah, ZXC just calls it. I think this one was pretty obvious, but
yep, BZZ might still actually die while disconnected, but looks like someone is indeed. That's actually Goblack, with looking at the movements, they're quite the same. Deafening Blast coming out, Cold Feet as well. Nubik will be able to take away the Aegis at least, but Cold Feet, they proc. And it's Goblack and BZZ left here. The GG is already being called, but apparently people are still very prone on fighting back. As Goblack just clicked the base and will control maybe BZZ in terms of getting some kills. Goblack, he's gonna die.
Yeah, and in the end, this game just feels like RoX.KIS just kind of knew what they had to do. Maybe they didn't play it 100% perfect, and maybe they didn't execute things perfectly. That's definitely true, but the fact is if you screw with a Pugna before he can actually push down many towers, if you just make his life difficult, you don't even have to kill him that much. You can just make it so he can't push towers. The hero goes from fantastic in the early game to virtually useless once the mid game is even kicking in, and that's exactly what happened this game. Whether DT were ahead, whether DT could have been ahead or not, probably wouldn't even mattered, because ultimately RoX.KIS picked up 3 Midases as well, so the levels on them are getting pretty ridiculous even at this stage.
Yeah, we are going to see another match today. However, that match is not scheduled until an hour from now, so... Whoa, did he actually... Yeah, Sidu actually lived. So we're going to have an hour break before our next match, which will feature Empire and Aware. I'm looking very much forward to that game. Now, on paper, it's going to, of course, be Empire taking that victory, but Aware has been playing really well lately, and, of course, they are practicing their brains out for the qualifiers of the International. And Empire is not, because Empire has got a direct invite. So that might actually be something that is something that for Aware will be working for them. I'm hoping for them that they can pull off a good showing. And I'm just looking forward to seeing them in action again, especially after yesterday's game that they had against RoX.KIS. I find them very promising.
Yeah, definitely. They're a very promising team, and more than anything as well, they're a very surprising team, because so far they've struggled to get any wins, but the big thing for them is that they're always so close to beating pretty much every team. Like you said, they put up a very good performance versus RoX.KIS yesterday, but it went down to the wire in the end. And the thing is that, you know, Empire need to be a little bit careful, because Empire have actually dropped a fair number of games in this tournament so far, and if they drop one more, they're at a position where maybe they aren't guaranteed out, but it's very close as to whether they'll go to Moscow or not, and that could be an embarrassing moment for Empire. They're supposed to be, you know, a few months back, well, not even a few months back, just a month ago, they were the dominant team on the biggest win streak ever in professional Dota. So something that they need to be worried about going out versus Aware tomorrow. I would, you know, not tomorrow, sorry, in an hour, but I would generally give them favour for it. I'd expect them to win the match, but it should be a close one overall.
Yeah.
And we really don't know.
No, I know, it's best of one. It's exciting, although for now we're waiting for the throne to still fall. Stick with us though, as I said, we should be right back. We're going to show the end screen and then we're going to jump ourselves out of this game, and in an hour we'll be back here. Like, I guess should be right back, doesn't really go in that case, but in an hour we'll be back here with Empire versus Aware for the Excellent Moscow Cup, which is the tournament that you are watching. The round robin group stage with the top 4 going to the LAN finals in Moscow for $20,000 or $25,000, one of the two. I kind of forgot which of the two it was, and I know that I've said 25.
I think it's 25, isn't it?
Yeah, but that's because I have said 25 a lot, and I'm not 100% sure if it was actually right when I said that. So it's either $20,000 or $25,000.
If I said I knew, I'd be lying. So there's that.
Yep. But anyways, stick around, or at least do something for an hour and be back afterwards. And we'll be back too. See you later.